This is Bimbo Barbarella, and I'm filling in on my channel for Jennifer N's program. For some reason, she's having computer issues, and now this is her show where um, some of us pick movies that are free on Google. If you didn't know, you can go to your Google account and there's a plethora of free movies that you can watch. And some of them have actually been pretty good. Most of them are rotten and cheesy, and well, that's why they're free because they suck. So, so, um, all right. So let me drop the link so we can get her show started. I mean, because everybody seems to be have so much problem with technology. Oh, hello, Izzy. How are you? I actually bought a new phone yesterday, and it was working fine today. It's a 5G phone. It's nice, and at 6 o'clock, Google decides to lock me out of it. So because I didn't want the locking mechanism installed on the phone anyway, but Google, you have to. They require that you have a phone that locks. And so I made up a PIN number and I put it in, and it worked fine for a while. And at like 6 o'clock, it didn't recognize the PIN anymore. And
Smoking a pancake.
I actually did speak to somebody who was fairly intelligent at T-Mobile, which was refreshing. Um, because he did know what he was doing, because he did walk me through a lot of stuff, and he says basically Google is not taking your email password. So I had to go and change that. So, and I already did that, and the T-Mobile store opens tomorrow at 8 or 9 o'clock. I forget which, but I live like maybe 3 blocks from it. My ass is going to be there when they open the door. And if the cats get fed early, you know what, you little bitches, eat early. That's how it's going to be. And we usually have Mrs. Hopkins with us doing this movie presentation, but she's not feeling well. So
Oh,
I think it's just going to be me and Mark, and
hopefully, Jen.
Jen's down there.
Crepe and
If
a waffle.
if if not, we'll put her movie show off. Um, and I don't know. I'm sure me and Mr. Pirate Radio can come up with a program right off the top of our heads. Oh, hello, Bopak. How are you?
Senor Ballpark. Senior Sailor Ballpark.
Have you
Looking
got
good
any?
there.
Have you got any tacos there, Senor Bopak? Because we want a taco, or we want a chimichanga.
And
And
a
see,
glass of ginger ale, please.
I hate chimichangas, but I just like saying the word chimichanga.
I like saying mushy.
Or moist.
Moist. Moist.
Yeah, Mark, we could do a show just on funny words that make us laugh.
Goofy words, yeah.
How can I miss movie night? Well, it's been unfortunately Bopak canceled. I think twice already. I have spicy bean slurry. Ooh, slurry. Yeah, that's a good word, slurry. Ooh, ooh, those spicy beans, they look slurry to me.
They're a musical fruit, Bimbo.
There's no way that I could eat something that looked slurry. I don't even know what slurry looks like, but I won't eat it. Okay, here's Chris.
It's like the microphone
Why
with
don't we use the fucking mic that's up there that we bought? That's
the.
what I
Oh,
don't understand.
Can you hear us?
Yes, Chris,
yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I think the magic combination is to take the initial link, mute it, and then go to the live stream and have the audio on for it. And
But you don't do that process when you go live on live stream.
well, when we connect
Not
to
when I go
Bimbo's.
live.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
do that process.
Right, because you're hosting it.
Right.
Okay. So at least hopefully this will be a good connection here for us. So let me hand over the earbuds here. Well,
Chris, and did you hear about my experience with my new phone?
oh no, how'd your new
Oh,
phone go?
and I got the phone
What's
yesterday.
your
It
phone
worked great.
platform?
The speed was good. I was actually talking to Jen, but at like 6 o'clock, um, Google decided to lock me out of the phone
Oh gosh.
because according to Google, your phone, this new phone, this 5G phone, has to have a customer lock.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's got to have a customer lock. And I says, well, I'm the only one that uses it. That uses it. But the guy from T-Mobile says, well,
Well,
that's a Google thing. So
whenever
anyway,
I've had a new phone, I've always had to re-log in.
but I don't
So,
need to do that. So anyway, and so the guy with T-Mobile was actually good. He knew what he was talking about. I could understand him. Hello, Chris. How are you? Oh, we're doing our movie night tonight, but first we're doing a bunch of bitching about shit.
technology.
In
And it has
general.
nothing to do with any political rules. It's just
I just want to
technology
come
is
on. I
bad.
just want to come on for a minute and say hi. So that's all. Nothing
Oh,
major.
hello,
Hey
Mr.
Chris,
Chris.
how's it
Okay.
going? Your haircut
Oh,
looks
good.
good.
I've been watching your cooking stuff.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, I watched the last one you did. They're real good.
Oh, good. Any
Oh,
favorites?
and like, did Chris tell you about his haircut?
No, I just said it looks
Oh,
good.
Okay, no, because like he wanted to go like
Nice.
two. Okay,
you like
because
my shirt, Bimbo? I got.
yeah, yeah, I know, I see that. Okay, because he thought that he was going to a barber, and he ends up going to a dentist,
Oh, yeah. I
and
know all
so
about that.
yeah,
Well,
and so then
I started doing it myself, and I messed up, and then Debbie just finished it off. So,
yeah, and
you know, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt passed away at 36. He's
yeah,
a WWE
I know
superstar.
he's a wrestler, but
Yeah,
and Bo and so Bopak says, I love hearing Jen's angry voice. Yeah, and you don't hear it very often.
I'm usually calm, but let me tell you, I've had the 2 weeks from hell, first of all, and just severe pain. And I've been through
Hello, Mrs.
dentist,
Hopkins. Are you?
orthodontist,
Oh,
endodontist, my physician, x-rays. It's been crazy.
have a good night, Jen. I'll catch you guys later.
all right, Chris. Thanks for
All
coming up.
right. Hey,
Bye.
Deb. Have
Bye.
a good night, y'all.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Mrs. Hopkins. And so
Yeah.
you're not feeling well? You're not going to come up?
She's
If you
not
don't,
feeling well. That's fine.
okay, well then, if you
I
want,
can
maybe
leave
just
it.
put your information, like in the side chat.
I totally get it. I totally get
I
it.
mean, I'm just so disgusted with all technology now.
And the funny thing is I've been on with Restream on the back end trying to figure out why we keep having problems. So I don't know if they did something to my account that messed it up even more or what. Probably. So, but yeah. So y'all heard me asking why we're not using the mock mic that we bought, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it is frustrating, you know. It's just this is the second time, and I did the log in, log out, but I don't know if it
Well,
wasn't doing it
well,
because you guys were in. Or, anyway, we can move on.
oh, okay. And Mrs. Hopkins, this is a very valid excuse why she can't come up today. See more technology bullshit. I'm serious.
That's
We
crazy.
would have been all better off back in the Flintstones times when you got your paper delivered by some bird that pecked
No,
in
no,
the
no, no,
news.
no. Now let me say this though: if we were back in the Flintstone times, we all wouldn't know each other,
Well, there
and
weren't that many
and
people around.
and I find everyone here worthwhile
I
and
don't know. There was a
fun.
lot of people back there in the Flintstone times that was getting eaten by dinosaurs anyway. They were either riding the dinosaurs as buses, using them as garbage disposals, or getting eaten.
I do
You know,
think I
you
was
didn't
the
have
T.
much of a choice.
I do think I'm related to T Rex in some way because I do have short arms.
Oh, I thought maybe you were talking, maybe you're related to Mark Bolan,
Mark Bolan.
the lead singer from T Rex who died in the car crash.
No, 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 no.
Okay, so we have Mr. Bopak, who I'm sure will give us some of his quality advice on the movies that we pick, and Mrs. Hopkins is going to do her picks from the side. Um,
I had an intro. Can I do my intro that I was going to do?
Hold on. Okay, we had Addie up here. Oh, there she is. Dang, you guys are.
Can I do my intro?
Is it going to be long and boring?
No, it's going to be short, but you're going to have to turn your audio down, your volume on your everything down. Because I might get loud, but I'm going to try and make it kind of light.
I haven't said anything yet. Oh,
All right. So here we go. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. How is that?
That was
That's my
very.
best. That's my best Ethel Merman.
Yeah, that was Ethel Mermanish. And well, there's no business like show business like no business I know.
All right, Mark, your turn.
Okay, that's more
there's
like
no business like show business like no business I know.
I think that me and Mark more have like the Carol Channing going on.
Cha 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 cha.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Friend.
Okay, no, you're not Marilyn Manson or Marilyn Monroe.
That was
So,
Carol Channing. Hello, Dolly.
okay.
Yep, never missed a show.
Well,
Amazing.
hello, Dolly. This is Louis Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
Now that's a good one.
Well, trust me, I can't sing that for too long.
Yeah, me
Okay,
either.
Without drinking something.
So movie night, we are gonna have the usual roundtable format. We're gonna start off with Miss Computer Problems. Well, that could be anybody. Jen. Then we're gonna have Miss Computer Problem number 2.
All right.
Yes. Oh, yes, Addie. That was Satchmo. Mrs. Hopkins. Then we're going to have Pirate Radio. And I was actually watching one of his streams. I stayed up to watch one of his streams. He lasted 25 minutes and then he got booted off.
I wonder if you used archive.org and went to the Grateful Dead section and I don't know if you could get by with that
I,
or not.
I get an average of 2 hours usually.
Yeah.
And then they boot me off. Usually what happens is I stay on and they bring me back on again if I stay on. But I usually don't play copyright music after that. I usually play the non-copyright stuff.
Hmm. Does it happen
But
if you have a steady, like if you do only one artist? Have you tried doing that?
no.
Because I'm wondering if it was all, I think it's hard to give everybody their 2 cents when you do multiple artists. You know, dividing 2 cents by 100 or 25 songs is hard. But if you do the same artist, they're all getting the same 2 cents. I don't
And,
know.
and you know what? Going back to the Flintstones, Addie says that wings are the popular food for dinosaurs. What I would like is that big rack of ribs that Fred orders that that tips over the whole car.
Nah,
So
there you go. The brontosaurus ribs.
yeah, okay, um, um, so Miss Computer Problem One. What's your first movie?
My first movie was Hobson's Choice, and this was a black and white British comedy from 1954. It's hardly a comedy by today's standards, but it is amusing. The cast includes award-winning actors, with the most popular actress, probably to us in the U.S., would be uh, Prunella Scales. She played the wife of John Cleese in Faulty Towers. The predominant scene is in a cobbler's shop owned by a drunkard father of three women. And if you like a touch of romance and a strong female lead, this movie is definitely worth seeing. It is amusing. Uh, the film won a Golden Bear at the Fourth Berlin International Film Festival in 1954 and the British Film Academy Award Best British Film 1954. It also received praise from the New York Times' Bosley Crowler, and it was the moneymaker at the British box office in the year of its release in 1954.
There's nothing better than a drunk cobbler.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Well,
okay, so here's something interesting, Mark, that Bopak writes that they have a sound app for phones that will identify a song.
yes. Yeah,
Yes,
we
I've heard of
have
that.
that.
See,
Well,
and
Pandora had that, I think,
see, and you know,
capability.
I don't know. I don't get that. I would think, that anytime a band gets exposure, that's good for them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you would think. But when there's money involved and money that should be paid out, they're more concerned with getting that money.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, Mrs. Hopkins, yeah, and that's how. Oh, that's why I'm surprised because, like, some of the parody songs that I've done, like when I did, Dirty Diana, nobody ever, or when I did Burning Love. But I don't know, they really weren't parodies. They were just, very poor versions of the song. So maybe they weren't considered parodies. Money making
So when I
backstabbers, as the
I
old days.
I do the same thing on my channel. I do a not karaoke. I play piano and sing certain songs that are
Yeah, I
copyrighted.
think if you're doing that, then it's okay.
Yeah, it must be because they let me get away with it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that was good, Jen. Okay.
Very good, Jen.
We'll expect some snarky responses from Addie and Bopak. And let me put the link out there again. Anybody else who wants to join or come up?
I mean, is life worth living really without those snarky comments?
No, because I have a good friend who I chat with all the time on Twitter, and she would be great for the show. And she's interested in doing it, but she does DJ work on Saturdays,
Oh,
and and I now that's something too that I've done. I've done DJ, so that's and you have to like this. You have to have the right kind of attitude for it. So Okay, Mrs. Computer Problems 2. What is the first movie that you saw?
Oh, and also, Mrs. Hopkins, if you need to consult with Chris on a good laptop, he's available.
Yeah, for a fee, because you got to send him a gift card.
No, you don't. You do and you shouldn't. Don't do that anymore.
Why? No, I always do. You told me to do that.
No, I did not.
Oh, well, then somebody else did. Okay,
So
here's
Mrs. Hopkins said, Beyond Sky Encounter. I liked this movie. Felt like a documentary halfway or so. A woman gets abducted by aliens every 7 years, and a couple of guys research her story and become involved. I would rewatch it and recommend it.
good. Okay.
Hopkins.
Okay, so Mr. Bopak has a movie he watched, Honeysuckle Rose with Willie Nelson.
Why am I here? Are we still live?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And Addie says that she will look into Honeysuckle Rose. I bet you will, because I'm sure that Honeysuckle Rose is just another way of Willie Nelson to get around saying, "Oh, I smoked pot." No, I didn't. I smoked Honeysuckle Rose. Okay, so that was a good choice there, Mrs. Hopkins and Bopak, Honeysuckle Rose. Pirate Radio, you're up next.
All right. I chose for my first movie, actually for all my movies, I forgot what I chose last month. So I just re-chose 3 movies, watched them, and reviewed them. My first movie, I chose Woodstock. 3 days that changed everything. The Woodstock Festival was held on August 15th, 16th, 17th of 1969. There were 32 acts. A lot of them played through the rain. I thought it was more interesting than anything. The declined invites to Woodstock. The people that were invited to Woodstock but declined. Like the Beatles, for instance, were busy at the time. They were invited, but they were busy doing their album Abbey Road and disbanding. Jeff Beck was invited, but he deliberately broke up before the festival because he didn't want to be preserved. The Byrds were invited. They chose not to partake because they believed it would just be another same old band playing same old festival. The Chicago had actually been signed, but they were under the control of Bill Graham. The contract was under the control of Bill Graham, who decided to showcase them at his Fillmore West instead. The Doors were signed, but they canceled at the last moment. Bob Dylan lived in Woodstock, but he had already pre-signed for the Isle of Wight Festival that was soon after. Free was asked but declined. The Guess Who was asked but declined. Iron Butterfly was booked but were stuck at LaGuardia Airport. Jethro Tull declined. The last one, Led Zeppelin, the great Peter Green, their famous manager, said no, because we would just be another band on the bill.
Mark, that's very interesting. And you actually did your homework. That's good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
The last one, Joni Mitchell, who wrote the song Woodstock, she was actually booked for Woodstock, but she never appeared because her manager begged her to do the Dick Cavett show instead.
Dick Cavett. Gee, Joni, maybe that wasn't that great a career move, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin was on it several times. There's some great YouTube clips of her with Dick Cavett.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Okay.
there
Yeah,
are just a
Pink
lot
Floyd,
of great
apparently.
clips. Yeah, go watch some of those old Cavett clips. They're great.
Okay.
They are good. John Lennon's been on there, and
Okay, and so now we
yeah.
know Miss Addie Bacall's secret, that she's really just a pod. We had some sort of thoughts about you. I knew that you weren't a robot because you weren't trying to steal my luggage, but but you're a pod. Okay.
a
Come
pod.
to think about it, when I was going to school and they started the modern schools, remember how they had pods? Did you all
Yeah.
ever go to a school that big?
No.
Like we were just everybody in our
Open
grade
area.
was in an open area, and you just had dividers between the classrooms, so you could look
Yeah, we had
behind
that.
you and see
We
what
had
was
that.
going on there. And yeah,
It sounds like
so
just a big
pods.
tent. It
Could have been.
sounds like school underneath a circus tent.
They were like prisons the way they were built, right, Mark? There were no windows, and like
True, yeah, that's true.
it was abysmal. Yeah.
Oh.
For elementary school, it was awful.
That was
Yeah,
my
no.
middle school was like that.
Yeah, all of mine were. Yeah. Well, except I guess middle, because I went to private school for a little while. So
Okay, and so my first movie, and I honestly had no idea that this movie even existed. And I am very surprised at myself for not knowing it. That's, I didn't write down what year, but in like the 2000s, the Three Stooges actually had made a new movie. And it's like there's like three separate little shorts, but they all tie in into one, major ending. And
That's a
and-
coincidence because you're probably wearing little shorts right now too.
yes, they're red.
And you,
The only name that I had ever heard was the guy who played Curly, and his name is Will Sasso. He was on Mad TV. He looks just like Curly, and these guys did a fantastic job. It was just really, really good, and I was surprised that I had never even heard of it before.
so
glad
they
you
did a
enjoyed it.
parody of the Three Stooges.
No, it wasn't well, it
it
was
was a remake kind of movie. Just
Huh?
it was like their show, but only in movie form and new.
Right, yeah. Okay, yeah. And like I said, there was three vignettes
Mhm.
and they all intertwined into the final ending. I guess there's a joke you won't touch, or maybe you would, and Addie says, just do it, Jen. I don't know. What are you making a joke on me? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Just do it. I don't care.
No. Oh, we lost Mark. No. No joke on you.
Oh,
No, I'm still here.
oh. Well, any joke on me, all I got to do is just look in the mirror. So, okay. So
Same.
our second movie is Miss Computer Problem number 1.
All right. So my second movie is Kevin
Oh.
Hart, Laugh at My Pain.
Okay, hold up, Bopak, and I'll get to you in a second. Okay, Jen, what was the name of it?
Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain.
Oh,
It's
okay.
actually a stand-up comedy. It
Yes,
was released
yes.
in 2011 after his accident, but oddly enough, he did not mention the accident. And it was interesting because there were opening and closing vignettes of like a mini movie. The first vignette of him being, he went back to his neighborhood in Philly and kind of walked around and showed places where he hung out and, shouted at people on the street and got ignored. It was pretty funny. And then the ending vignette, interestingly, was a tribute to Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, real? Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great movie. I love that
yes.
movie.
So it's definitely worth watching, even for the end part of it. But the whole comedy stand up, he followed the typical uh, comedy shtick where he told his jokes. Sometimes he overplayed the punchline, but it was okay. He kind of moved on. But, he ended up ending the whole routine with kind of where he started. How they loop back
Right.
to where they began. So he did a great job with that.
Cool.
And one of the first parts he did was actually financial responsibility. He spoke about, which of course I loved, being a frugal person. Basically, he learned that he couldn't hang out with people with more money than him because he'd spend too much. So he stays within his own means. So I thought that was a good lesson for anyone.
Well, see, and that's like my logic too. Is that's why I hang out with all dumb people because I just seem smarter.
That's right. I'm fortunate.
Yeah, lucky you.
Lucky me.
Okay, Jen. Well, that was good. That was good. Okay,
But,
so
well, let me go on. It was
oh,
nominated
what?
for,
There's more.
yeah, there's more. I did my homework for my own show. Imagine that. But it was nominated for BET's Best Movie and Best Actor, I guess, from the vignettes. And he won the Best Actor
Oh,
award from
I
BET for that.
I mean, because Kevin Hart is funny.
He
yeah.
is funny. He is funny. But I didn't realize how short he was until I saw this movie and him acting with other people. So, because I don't think I've ever seen one of his movies before.
Yeah, I mean he's short. Oh, and like speaking of short, okay, the Dallas Cowboys, completely different subject.
South
They have
American
a
scheme.
running back in training camp who is 5'5".
I bet he can run.
And you
He's a
should
wide
say,
receiver, right?
okay, because all these big guys are trying to tackle him, and he's just ducking down below him. He's going between their legs, and
That's great. That's great. Hopefully
The
they'll do
three,
well this year with him.
the Three Stooges were all short. They were little guys, eh?
yeah, they were. Okay, Mrs. Hopkins, Miss Computer Problem number 2. What was your movie, dear?
Bopak, next movie, he picked Gone Fishing with Joe Pesci and Danny Glover. He highly recommends it.
Oh, anything with Joe Pesci is funny, funny,
Yeah.
funny, funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
No, neither have I. Neither have I. Well, of course, there's him in My Cousin Vinny. And
Yeah.
then, and then, what's the crime movie where he's like a little, where he's a crime boss, but he's really tough, and he says, "Oh, what are you? Oh, what are you laughing at me? What am I, a clown? Do I make you laugh?" And just,
Oh, Goodfellas.
oh, is that what it's from?
Yeah,
Yeah, Goodfellas, too.
yeah, that's what I
Okay,
thought.
and so Mrs. Hopkins has the rewrites, a 2015 with Hugh Grant, Marissa Tomei. Okay, we were just talking about My Cousin Vinny. She was
Mhm.
in that, oh, Lisa, whatever her name was. And and then, and so Joe Pesci's in My Cousin Vinny, he's talking about going hunting, and she says, "Now imagine you're a little deer, and you're drinking, and you're by and you're by a stream, and you're thirsty, and you lay your little head down, and you take a sip, and then somebody comes up and blam, blows your head off. Would you care what kind of pants the guy was wearing?" Okay. So now, Mrs. Hopkins' rewrite is a screenwriting class. A little funny, as in dry humor. Instead of quotes from Love Actually. Wow. Okay. Oh, and Alan Rickman. And a lot of people probably don't know who he is. You know who he is, but you might not know him by name. Yeah, because he was in the movie Old Love Actually. And she doesn't say that she would watch it again. So, but Alan Rickman, he was what, Hans Gruber in the first
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah, wasn't
Okay,
he
the only
also?
one that was good. And then he was in he was Professor Snape in all of the Harry Potter movies. And then he was one of the cast of a very funny movie called Galaxy Quest.
He was also in Die Hard and Prince Nottingham, and
Yeah,
he was the sheriff of Nottingham and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah,
yes, yes.
but I
Okay,
think Snape is his most
yeah,
known
yeah.
character.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that was 7 movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so Addie. Oh, Cannonball Run. The hell is Cannonball Run?
I know what that is.
Yeah, I don't think he played in that. That was one of those 1980s movies where it had a huge cast of actors and it was a
Yeah,
race.
there was a race across the country
Yeah.
or a segment of the country. They hold it every year and they race.
Yeah, this girl Wendy, I know, she was a cast member in that
I've
film.
never seen that movie, and I'm
Yeah,
not going to
Burt
go looking.
Reynolds was
I'm
in
not going to
it.
go looking for it.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
actually
so
pretty funny.
Addie, and so what's a movie that you liked, Addie? And it doesn't even have to be one of the ones on the no movie list. I don't care because it's on the Bimbo Barbarella music program, and I just don't care. And I'm really in a bad mood about that stupid phone. So
I'm in a
You'll fix
bad
it
mood, but
tomorrow,
I'm getting in a
Bimbo. Don't
better
worry.
mood.
The Sound and the Fury. Well, that sounds good.
That's, I think, an action movie, action adventure.
Speaking of Sound and the Fury, all I know is that Wednesday on Boyd Wrestling, the Valkyrie won, so that was good.
Yes,
Oh, right, nice.
congratulations on that. Did Kropka wrestle yet?
No, no. There's still some characters that Coach hasn't done yet. And now
Okay.
remember that he's a full-time teacher now, and he also coaches the football team.
Right, right,
So I think it's probably going to go to like every 2 weeks now.
right. Plus he's a Texan fan, and they're about to start. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Houston Texans. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Um, the 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 Savannah Bananas could beat them playing football.
probably, probably.
And
Uh,
Wilpox says it's funny that we're all in bad moods, but we're cheering each other up.
that's right. That's right.
Fuck off, Bobak.
So Addie says that is in an old movie with Yul Brynner when he had hair and Joanne Woodward. Oh, I never heard of that, Addie.
Just kidding, pal.
And
Yeah.
okay, so briefly, just what's the synopsis of the movie?
Synopsis.
Yeah, that's a $10 word for a $5 crowd. Okay,
I
well,
think
Mine
you
I
is
let us
didn't
know,
think of
Mrs.
that.
Hopkins.
This is why everybody's in a shit mood. Mrs. Hopkins has the answer.
So,
She's put it all
when will
into
this be
perspective.
over, Mrs. Hopkins? When does this stop? Do we have to wait a month, 30 days for this to be over?
No, no. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, for some of us, it's 30 days. For Mr. Kropka, that never happens.
I know I have a month of crap that I'm not looking forward to. So, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Bopak, that's why you are always welcome up here. Yes, hello, Jennifer. Jennifer, and so what's a movie that you like or dislike? Go on, Jennifer, and then we'll get to Pirate Radio. It's about
Oh
an
my
old
God.
Southern family and an outsider in charge of them.
Wow.
It is one of the most favorite movies, along with Cool Hand Luke.
Wow.
I've never seen any of the old Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. I've never seen Cool Hand Luke. I've never seen any of those, believe it or not.
Clint Eastwood wasn't in Cool Hand Luke. That was uh, Paul Newman.
I'm sure they're good, but I've just
Yeah.
never watched them. See, but
Yeah.
I really don't care much for westerns. The only western I liked, was Tombstone.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the Western remakes that are on YouTube right now are actually Kurosawa films, the Japanese director.
Yeah, yes.
So, I mean, they're quite good, but even for remakes in the US, but the
Okay, so
originals
Mrs.
are really
Hopkins
good.
has an update on the mercury problem. So
September
September
14th.
14th. Oh my God. So I get 3 more months, 3 more weeks of shit.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, because I'll get done with his radiation on the 27th. So,
Yeah.
so Jennifer says, I like Misery. Oh, what? Oh, the James Caan movie.
And Misery Loves Company. That was a good movie. That's one that I saw at the theater.
And Addie also likes Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I don't know. I've seen, sometimes our roof, it's aluminum, it can get hot. And I've seen some cats on a hot tin roof before.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Star
Oh,
Wars is
Misery. And like I have a big Stephen King collection. Um, the book Misery is it's good. I think it's one of the very few Stephen King movies that might even be better than the book.
hmm,
Just because
wow.
of the actors. Oh, Kathy Bates and James Caan. They were both so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. And so, Mrs. Hopkins, if you don't know what this is, just ask me and I'll tell you. Okay. Pirate Radio. What's your next one?
Um, my next movie is a doc, and this one's called Deep Purple in Rock. This is particular is about it. You guessed it, the band Deep Purple, and it,
Oh, there's the ghost. Hey, ghost.
Hello,
and
Ghost.
it,
Mark.
Ghostess with the mostest.
Mark, and turn around so we can say hello to Ghost. Hello, Ghost.
The ghostess with the mostest.
yeah, like know my voice.
Hmm.
Yeah, very
Hello.
good. Okay, so go on.
Hello.
So go on, Mark.
Okay. Yeah, and it's about the album In Rock, and it's a documentary about the making of that album. It features the Mark II lineup. If you're familiar with the various Mark lineups of Deep Purple, it features the Mark II lineup of Blackmore, Gillian, Glover, Lord, and Pace, and it features such great songs as Speed King and Child in Time. It's their fourth studio album, and it was released June 5th, 1970. If you're into Deep Purple, and I know some of you are, um, it's definitely a documentary worth watching because In Rock is one of their better albums, and it's interesting always to see how they put these things together. At least it is for me. Then again, I like sticky toilet seats.
That's it.
And this here DVD is one that
Oh,
I have. Well, it was from the after they did Perfect Strangers. The next album was um, in the
Deep
Blue
Purple.
Door or something, and then Richie Blackmore left again, and so that's when they got Steve Morse to take his place on tour. And this is live in Montreux. Remember,
Oh,
because
okay.
Montreux is the place that burnt down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
On the Lake Geneva shoreline. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark. Because I don't know that I've seen that, and I've seen a lot of Deep Purple stuff. You
Yeah, it
know,
was an
that's one
interesting
of my
doc.
favorite bands. So
It's all that just filled with footage
yeah,
from the studio. It gets into some interesting stuff, how they had a brief stint of classical music where Blackmore and Lord is featured, but the whole band was there. We're playing with a full orchestra, and they were doing this mix of classic rock and classical music, kind of a mash, and it was interesting, but it blew. It didn't get off the ground. They laughed at it, and it was an embarrassment of a project for
wow,
them. So
cool,
they didn't do it
cool.
anymore.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll have to look at that. Okay. Now, before my second pick, I have to put props out here to a movie that Bopak found on YouTube called Jabberwocky, and it's not official Monty Python canon, even though it was made by Terry Gilliam, and it has some of the Python cast in it. It's just really crazy.
I remember Jabberwocky.
Really, really crazy. And like Terry Gilliam, he's one of the most creative directors in the world. He's done like 12 Monkeys. He's done
Time Travelers.
Brazil. He's done just insane movies. And and a Jabberwocky is
Well,
actually
Time Bandits, I meant to say.
a Jabberwocky is actually a legendary Old English dragon. That's
Oh,
what a Jabberwocky is. And that's true. I'm not making that up. You know, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not going to make up. But
but when it comes to other stuff, she's gonna bullshit the shit out
no,
of
I
you.
don't bullshit. I equivocate.
Uh,
There's a difference.
Yes. Okay, so
right.
okay, Bopak, that was a very good find and a very good call. And I suggest that if you like the Monty Python genre, check it out because it's Monty Python-esque.
The movie that I mentioned by him, Time Bandits, if you've never seen
Oh,
that,
Time Bandits. Oh my God, that is so great.
that's an interesting
So
movie.
great. That is
If
so
you like
great.
that genre, check it out.
Yes, Time Bandits is great. And it's got such a good cast of people. It's got some of the Monty Python guys in it. It's got David Warner who plays the ultimate evil. And
A
it's
lot
just
of little people.
yeah, it's Time Bandits is just great.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, Addie, yes. Oh, the movie was called Baron Munchausen, something, something.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was it.
That is available on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not that good. Okay, so anyway, so my second movie, believe it or not, um, I know it's going to be hard to believe, is called Robot World. Let me check around. I
Yeah.
don't open luggage bags around, do I? And now the movie was decent, but it had many flaws, many flaws. Um, it's about this robot planet that is threatening to attack Earth. And so Earth is going to try to stop them. Now, here's where one of the many flaws of the thing is. They obviously had no budget because there's a robot planet coming to attack us, and they send one guy in a spaceship.
With a vacuum
What more do
cleaner.
you need?
Yeah, with a vacuum cleaner, like Hardware Wars. And
Oh my gosh.
and the special effects with the robots was actually cool, but any other special effect looks like it was made by by like the South Park guys.
Right.
It was.
Nothing wrong with that.
I actually think that the movie was made by two different directors and just put together. No, really, that's how it looked like to me.
Well, it could be like Eyes Wide Shut, where the director died, and so they just did whatever and screwed it up. That could be.
Yes,
That
and
would happen.
yes, and this is true about the Baron Munchausen movie. They considered it cursed because they had a lot of problems making that movie. Yeah, because the boat sank, and it wasn't supposed to. It wasn't like the Titanic. Rose and Jack weren't there, floating in the ocean, laying on a board. you know. So yeah, okay, Boat Park. Yeah, that's a good call. Very good, very good, very good. And it was written by Lewis Carroll. And who knows what else? Oh, Lewis Carroll wrote.
Rings a bell. Didn't
No, that's not the name of the book.
He wrote the Alice in Wonderland, didn't he?
No, that's J.P. Barry.
Lewis Carroll. Let's see.
Jungle Book?
No, that was Rudyard Kipling.
He did do Alice Adventures in Wonderland. And he did Through the Looking Glass and Jabberwocky was a poem of his.
Oh,
Haunting of the Snark.
and Addie says, if only the Black Pearl would have been around. Yeah.
I'm surprised I got that right, actually.
So am I, because I was wrong.
I know, I'm surprised you were wrong and I was right. What the heck? It tells you that Mrs. Hopkins is right. What are we? Mercury's in retrograde?
Okay, Mrs. Okay, so, so we got everybody's second movies. Okay, our third and final movie from everybody, Jen, or messed up computer lady number one.
Also known as Easy Street with Jen. Let's see. Actually, I was supposed to do Master and Commander, but I don't know if I misread it, that it was a paid thing. I don't know. But it wasn't available at the time I was ready to watch it. And I was going to substitute Mutiny on the Bounty, since it was also nautical. But yeah, I've been in extreme pain the last couple of weeks. So
Mr. Christian.
that will come
No
out
problem.
later in detail on another video. I'll make a video about that because it's been an interesting journey.
Mr. Christian, I'll remove that teeth. I'll remove that teeth for you, sir.
No, well, yeah,
Okay, so what movie did you end up doing?
none.
None. Okay.
No,
Okay, good.
there was nothing I could focus on for very
Okay, well,
long.
that's easy to report.
So
Okay,
now I have
so
lots of drugs, so it's a lot
okay,
easier.
and so our next one goes to Miss Computer Problem number 2, Miss Mercury, Mrs. Hopkins. What is your number 2, dear?
We're all silent, like we're waiting for her to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had computer problems on the Leonard Skinner show too. Bob the Butler.
Mm-hmm.
She
Bob
said
And
the
I had,
Butler.
she says this one looks sillier than it actually is. It's a cross between Billy Madison and Dickie Roberts. Oh my
oh
God.
gosh.
Okay, and only somebody old like us would know who Dickie Roberts is. Oh, who don't know? Oh, who knows? Maybe Mama B, and I would Dickie Roberts.
No, I wouldn't know. I don't know who Dickie Roberts is.
He's old.
Really? And I
I
have
think
no
he's
clue
like
who he is.
120. He's one of those people that lived like past 100. I think he's like 120.
Wow.
Vicky.
Yeah, Jennifer. Mrs. Computer Problem number 1 is trying her best. So we have to give her. Yes, Addie, he did.
Oh, David Spade is Dickie Roberts. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That I know.
yes,
But I never saw Dickie Roberts.
and David Spade. I I love him because to me, David Spade, every movie that he's in, whether it's a movie or a Saturday Night Live skit, he is the epitome of the word snarky.
Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye.
But I'm told bye. But I need to go bye bye. And then he was in those funny movies with Chris Farley.
I was
And
ashamed to say I've never seen an Adam Sandler film. Kick me now.
oh no, some of them are good. Some of them I actually think are just like pretty dumb.
Apparently, his new one is worth watching. It's getting pretty good reviews, I'm hearing.
Okay. Okay. That was a good call there, Mrs. Hopkins. Bob the Butler. So would you request that we watch Bob the Butler?
I understand that Adam Sandler's new movie included all of his family, I believe, as part of the cast.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so Professor Bopok's last pick is okay. So Mrs. Hopkins says, yeah. So I guess if you're, like mowing the lawn and you got your cat in the house watching television, you turn it on, and the cat might watch it.
Maybe not so much. I just looked it up on, it's called You Are Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. A bat mitzvah is different than a bar mitzvah in that it's for the female. But apparently on IMDb, they're only giving it a 5.7 out of 10. I don't know if that's people just don't like Adam Sandler and they're
Yeah,
picking something, but
and that's why I never take any of those things. Like Rotten Tomatoes will give stuff like a 4, and it's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So
yeah, I agree.
okay, so Mrs. Hopkins says that Adam Sandler puts his kids in wife in a lot of movies. Yeah, there was one movie that his kids was in where like he would tell them like stories. I think it was called Bedtime Stories. he would tell them stories, and the stories would come true, and the kids were characters in like the different stories. That was a funny movie. That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
Mhm.
Okay, so okay, Jennifer. So what's a movie that you like? And then we'll go to Pirate. Oh yeah, because he's made some good. Oh, he's made some CDs with like some funny musical songs, like the Hanukkah song.
That's what I was just gonna put. I love the Hanukkah song.
Yeah,
Smoke,
Who does that?
Hanukkah.
Adam
Adam
Sandler,
Sandler.
Oh, okay.
and you can watch that on YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah, but my favorite comedian song that a comedian has intentionally done is Dennis Leary. You're an
Oh, yeah,
asshole.
which
You're an
one did he do?
asshole.
Oh yeah, Chris sings that a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Jennifer, you weren't prepared. Oh, it doesn't matter. Just say a movie that you like. And it doesn't matter whether it's on YouTube or not. I don't care. Just say a
What's your
movie that you
favorite
like
movie,
or that you
Jennifer?
hate. Like or that you hate. I'd rather hear movies that you hate. Oh, see, because hate's more fun than like.
You have to tell us
Especially
why you
now
hate it.
because we know why. Because Mercury's in retrograde, from Saturn's moon Titan. So that's the problem according to Mrs. Hopkins. Oh, Jen, and you'll have to see what I did up here in my little office. I rearranged all my stuff so it's much easier for me to get to all of my music.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
You've had enough rainy days to
I mean, I
rearrange
still haven't alphabetized them, because I'm not sure which letter comes first or second or third or so.
it.
Okay, so Jennifer says The Shining, yes. And now that was written by Stephen King, of course, and it was produced by Stanley Kubrick. And that movie comes pretty damn close to the book because Jack Torrance really does get flipped out. He really does get flipped out.
Which one?
Cat people, remember?
Cat people.
The brother and sister cancer.
The ghost picks cat people.
What?
The ghost picks cat people as her favorite movie.
Oh, that's a good movie. Yes, with David Bowie. Oh, and I love that song. Putting out fire with gasoline. You're putting out fire with gasoline. Baby, close your eyes. I don't know the words to it, but I know the song. And Marilyn Manson does the best version of the song Cat People I've ever heard. Just because he's got that real ominous voice. It is so good. Well, thank you, Ghost.
So I was talking about the original. It stars Oliver Reed or Ken Smith. It's the original and the black and white.
It's an old original with Oliver Reed.
Yeah.
It's a black and white movie,
1942.
1942. Oliver Reed must have been young.
And then they did a remake, and that was with Malcolm McDonald.
Roddy McDowell
Natasha Kinski, remember?
and Natasha Skinsky.
Yeah, because I knew that Cat People was around for a long time. I did
Yeah.
know that. Okay, so Mrs. Hopkins likes Dr. Sleep. And Doctor Sleep is like a sequel to The Shining, where Danny Torrance. I haven't read Doctor Sleep yet. I think he has to go back to the Overland Hotel for some reason.
Yes,
Yes, he does.
Okay, so
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
good. Thank you, Ghost.
Hey, Bimbo, you know the story of that, eh? Stephen King asked his fans what book he should write. If he should write the second part of The Shining or do another Cujo. And the fans said they wanted this. So he
The
wrote
Shining. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Okay, um, so Addie, and did you give a movie that you like, Addie? And like I said, I've got enough books that of mine that I haven't read that I could go like 4 or 5 years and just
Read.
Jennifer said, "Oh my God, I gotta see Doctor Sleep. I've never heard of it."
yeah.
Great suggestion.
Okay, yeah, because it's got Danny Torrance in it. Hello, Mrs. Hello, Mrs. With his finger.
Oh no, I'm thinking Peter Lorre. Can I cut him yet, Master?
Or what he says to Sidney Greenstreet in the Maltese Falcon. You stupid bloated idiot. Hairspray with Ricky Lake. That was one of the few movies that actually the remake was good.
Yeah. I mean, the original was great, of course.
Yes, by John Waters, but
Hmm. Oh, they were both by John Waters, but one was, yeah, yeah, he's great.
and my favorite John Waters movie is, of course,
Polyester.
no,
Pink Flamingos?
Flamingo or Girl Trouble, one of the two.
Oh, I like
And as long as we can see Edith, the egg lady, sitting in her big bird cage, hanging from the ceiling, eating eggs.
Yes.
And that's all she does throughout the whole movie. She just sits there in the bird cage and eats eggs. She has no other claim to fame in movie history but being the egg lady.
Polyester was pretty raunchy, so I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trust me, if you don't know who John Waters is, you need to look him up. Yes, and so Jennifer likes Hairspray too. Yeah, and Ricky Lake did a very good job as Tracy Turnblatt.
Yes, she did.
And what was even funny too is because John Travolta played her mother,
Yes.
and then Blondie played the other girl's mother, and
Deborah Harry?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great movie.
Oh, it was fantastic. Oh, Bopak says that he likes Cecil B. Demented. Yes. Bopak, and so give a tiny little synopsis on Cecil B. Demented, because most people probably haven't even heard of that. Yeah, Divine and Mink Stole. Yeah, Bopak. So just a little synopsis on Cecil B. Demented. And then we'll get my final pick.
Did you pick any for the next month?
No,
Yeah, I did. So
I didn't.
I did too.
I'll go over my picks for next month, but in the I will try and figure out what's going on with StreamYard.
I still have one
Yes,
more pick.
oh, yes, Addie. It was Ben. Yes, it was. Um, yeah. Oh, Ben Stiller's father. Jerry Stiller. No, what's his name? Ben Stiller's father. I forget.
Jerry,
Yeah. Okay.
Jerry.
And so Cecil B. Demented. It's a terrorist group of artists making a deranged movie. And you might think, well, how can that be funny? Um, First of all, with with the name Demented, you know it ain't gonna be right. You know it ain't gonna be right. So it seems that so far we've had, some good movies and we've had some duds.
I got one more.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
No, because Ghost took your turn.
No. That's
All
not
right,
what it
go
said in
ahead.
the fine blue.
Go ahead. Jesus. I got things I gotta do. Come on, go ahead, make it quick.
Yeah.
Any more? Any more adages? Okay, I can begin. Hold on, let me roll up my sleeves. Okay, my third one is called Aerosmith, America's Greatest Rock and Roll Band. Yep, you guessed it. I watched another documentary about another band, and this one with the same old story. They wrote some good music. They did a lot of drugs. They wrote some more good music. They toured. They broke up. They got back together again, and they continue to exist to this day. I'm talking about Aerosmith, the Toxic Twins, as opposed to the Glimmer Twins, known as Mick Jagger and Keith Richards.
Yes, the Toxic Twins. Yeah, that was Steve Perry and no, not
Joe
Steve.
Perry and Steve.
Oh God, no. Oh,
Tyler.
Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. And actually, after Joe Perry left, they did a album called Lightning Strikes, and they had like two like new guitarists in there. One of them is named Jimmy Crespo, and the album Lightning Strikes, it got like zero airplay because Aerosmith's broken up, and it was like a Steven Tyler,
Solo effort.
But it's called Lightning Strikes. It is so good.
It is, eh?
Oh, good.
Wasn't there a Kiss connection there with the guitarist?
I I don't know.
I thought you mentioned before that there was a connection.
Maybe
I was misunderstood.
No, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what I say? Half of the times I don't remember what I say.
That's all I got. That's all I got for.
Yeah.
For
but that's one thing that's good about that's one thing what a pathological liar has to do. You have to be able to remember what lies you've told years before. That's
a good pathological liar.
That's why I'm so good at being a pathological liar, because I can remember shit I've said, like 10 years before.
Yeah.
So I got that going for me. Right.
Yeah.
So my final movie, and the final movie on Jennifer N's movie nights. And where do you find these movies, Jen?
You find them on YouTube by going to. I gotta get out of view first. Go to sorry.
I just put 3 YouTube movies in the search engine, and I get them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I get them.
Okay.
No, but I know where they are. But
So how do you get there? Just go to
Free YouTube movies or
type in free
documentaries or music or whatever.
type in free YouTube movies. Okay, there you go.
no, but anyway, if you go onto YouTube, on like the left screen, you'll see a whole bunch of different things you can do where because that's where I play all I list like the bands I like and like the subgenres of bands and stuff. And there's the thing where free movies, and there's a list of free movies, um, um, and a list of movies that you pay for.
Right, and if you're on your phone, go to library, and then it says your movies and TV. You go there, and then it'll throw you for some reason under purchased. Hard to see here, but just go free with ads. It's another tab up at the top, and all your free with ad movies will pop up.
Really?
Certainly. So you can watch them on your phone as well.
Okay, and so Mrs. Hopkins put the link in there. So thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
very good.
And they change them out about once a month, I guess.
Yeah, because there's a couple of times that I had written stuff down and it was gone when I went to do it.
Yeah.
Which was actually good because one, I started watching and I watched like 20 minutes of it and it was so bad. Oh, and I never got to finish it because they took it off, so I was kind of glad.
Yeah.
How about that one I watched on the Beach Boys? They didn't even finish the documentary.
Yeah, I
They
know.
cut off.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I did do some picks for the next show.
Well, okay. Can I finish my final
Oh,
one, or
yes,
do you want to?
yes. Please.
Oh no, I mean
Please.
it's your show. You can do whatever you want.
No, it's your
Go ahead
channel.
and talk over
Please
Bimbo
finish.
if you desire, Ken.
Okay.
I wasn't counting. So go ahead.
Okay. My final one was a movie called Earthstorm. It was a TV movie, a made-for-TV movie, and it was made in 2006. And the synopsis is a meteor hits the moon and it messes with the Earth's atmosphere and, you know, all sorts of bad things happen, like earthquakes and the crust opens up and,
Wow.
fucked up weather. And the star actor, I mean, the movie was okay and the cast was okay, but it's a B-rate movie when your number one actor is Stephen Baldwin. Okay, it is not Alec, it's Stephen.
It's a deep dive.
Yeah. And
The
so
guy that honey, get me off this island, Baldwin.
and so basically it's really not a bad movie. It's got the same premise of the Bruce Willis movie Armageddon, where they send a ship up to like the moon, and there's pieces of the moon now that are coming off and hitting Earth because it got hit by the meteor. So they have to like shoot down these giant pieces of moon rock.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I didn't, hate it watching it.
Did you watch all of it?
Yeah, it was good. It was entertaining enough to watch. Maybe the next time I'm out mowing the lawn, I'll, put it on and watch it again.
Right.
Or I'll let Misfit watch it, and then I'll come in and Misfit will bite me.
I'll throw up on the computer.
Hey, and she's sitting right up there in the window. Don't don't
encourage her.
get ideas.
Don't encourage her.
Okay, Jen. So what's your picks for next movie night? Which who knows when it's gonna be?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do like Mrs. Hopkins and work on that. So we're gonna have to do a deep dive, is what I told her, to straighten this out. It looks like. And I tried signing back in. That didn't work either, like it did last time. Excuse me. So my picks for the next show will be Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. So I love the old movies that had Basil Rathbone playing Sherlock Holmes.
You've never seen the
Yeah.
one, and you've never seen the one, oh, with Robert Downey Jr.
No.
All right, yeah, all right. Go ahead and watch it.
And
I can know it.
Oh,
but of
hello,
the old,
Rita. How are you, dear? Nice to always see you. You know, you're always welcome.
hello, Rita. But there were 14 of the old Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
films made.
yeah,
So
yeah.
quite a collection there. And I did love all of those in black and white. Next movie I'm going to pick is the Panama Papers documentary from 2020. Now, I've read all the news articles on this, and so in April 2016, hundreds of journalists risked their lives to reveal some of Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca's Fonseca's shell corporations that are used for illegal purposes, including fraud, tax evasion, and avoiding international sanctions. Excuse me. And it had a lot of political people in there and wealthy people in there. You know, the 1% can do these things and somehow get by with it. And then the third movie I chose, because I like Steve Carell in The Office, I chose Dinner for Schmucks. I'm probably going to be deeply disappointed. But yeah, those are my choices.
I got a choice.
Pick any?
Yeah. My first choice for next month, I've chosen, I gotta find it here. I want to word it right too. I don't want to just do it off the top of my head because I don't want to say it wrong. Oh, here it is. Black Music in America, From Then Until Now, it's called.
I bet that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I
That'd
took
be
a quick
interesting.
look at it. It looks like they're black and and some are even blacker. And it looks like it gets to be right into the old blues and jazz origins.
Mhm.
So, and then for my next one, I haven't chosen it yet. So, crepe and a waffle, pipe and a crepe. You remember that from that movie with Mike Myers?
No.
No. What,
Mike Myers plays his character, and he's a British guy, and he's
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
From an Austin Powers movie. Crepe and a waffle? What?
Wow.
No?
Lots of shagging.
Cigar and a pancake? No?
I don't know. I've not heard of anything other than Austin Powers, the first movie. I
Okay.
think I did see that.
Okay, so I guess that our work is done. We have turned Jennifer on to some of these movies. Watch, and then she's gonna hate us and never come back on. I actually did see one movie that I was thinking of watching.
Which one's that, Bimbo?
It was called The Yeti versus the Lamprey.
Oh.
Produced by Bimbo Barbarella.
A College of Knowledge production.
Now, I
Hey,
would like to note, though, that some of the movies that I saw for next that are on there now, The Hunger Games, I
oh,
think
they're
there were
terrible.
two
I didn't like
movies.
any of those.
I
I didn't
never
like.
watched them. I thought the
I didn't
premise
like
was
the
stupid.
books. I didn't like the movies.
The premise was stupid to me, so I didn't bother. Um,
Okay, okay. And so Mrs. Hopkins has her three for next month. Delirious. Never heard of that.
Oh, is
Lars
that
and the
Eddie
Real
Murphy?
Girl.
Is
but
that
I'm a
Eddie Murphy
cheerleader.
Delirious?
I've never heard of any of those.
But I'm a cheerleader sounds like a big B movie.
I don't know. Well, okay. Well, Bopak likes it, so you know there's got to be something wrong with it.
It must be a very campy B movie.
If Bopak likes it, you know there's something not right.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't believe that you laughed at my movie that I want to see, the Yeti versus the Lamprey.
I don't know that it's out in theaters yet. But there were also some Elvis movies for those Elvis fans
Which
out
ones?
there.
Which ones? And I'll give you my
Elvis
I think
and
there
movies?
were a few of them.
Great.
and I'll give you my picks on the Elvis movies right now.
There were a few of them, I believe. I don't recall.
Oh,
And of course, they're ramping up for Halloween, so there was a lot of more horror movies, I
oh,
believe.
okay, good, okay, good, okay. That's my genre, and
Yes,
that's Bopak's genre,
yes.
horror movies.
Included in there was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yes. So, and of course, a lot of Kurosawa remakes. So,
And one movie that I can suggest for everybody not to watch unless you want to see probably the grossest, sickest thing in your life. Come on, get your ass out of the way, stupid. And don't step on the keyboard. It's a movie called The Human Centipede.
Hey, your cat's a female.
Yeah.
We can tell from back here.
And so now we know another thing. Well, and it's good that you know that, Captain, because now if there's any like any cats on board, you'll know which bunk to put them in.
That's right.
But the human centipede, it's the oddest, just
Yeah,
most
now there's a weird
hideous
movie.
movie I've ever seen. I mean, even I was sickened watching it. And now that's a feat.
That's funny.
Don't step on the keyboard, stupid.
Delete, delete, delete.
Yeah, that's what it'll do. Here, come here. Here, come here. If you're gonna do that, here, get in the screen so everybody can see you.
That's right. Curly Q tail.
Yeah. And nobody knows how she got her curly Q tail. Okay, so tossing her on the couch did no good.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so I guess that's gonna wrap up Jennifer N's movie nights on Yahoo. Um,
On
sorry that
YouTube.
sorry that we had the problem with her channel, and I was more than happy to step in and take over for a little bit.
I can always count on you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Mark and Mrs. Hopkins, everybody, thank you.
And I want to say, as I always say when I end a program, and I'm sure you're all tired of it, but I really don't care. I want to thank everybody, every single person who was on panel or in the right side. I want to thank
Everybody?
you all for taking the time to come up and watch us on.
Special thanks to the ghost.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the ghost made an appearance.
Yes,
And notice how the ghost is gone now.
yes. It's funny how that happens.
Yeah. Because I realize that there's other things you could be doing, but you chose to spend your time here with us, and hopefully you were entertained. Hopefully, you learned something. And hopefully, this 3 week wave of BS that everybody's having will be over in 2.5. Sometimes you just got to root for the little things. That's all.
Sometimes you gotta just don't ask for too much, and you'll get a lot.
Wow. That's
Wow.
words of wisdom.
Very prophetic.
Ow, ow, ow! It hurt too. Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, guys. Well, okay. So we were on for exactly an hour and a half. We
Perfect
had
time.
quite a lot of people um, on the chat. We had a lot of people in who was watching who don't leave a chat, who don't leave a message, and that's fine. I appreciate, you're just watching. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to participate. Just, watch the show and try to have a little bit of fun.
That's right.
So,
Great
okay.
way to kick off the
Not careful, you
weekend.
might learn something.
Sorry, Mark. What did you say, Mark?
And if you're not careful, you might learn something.
That's right.
Well, okay, all right. Well, because Jennifer says that she was going to watch some of those movies, so
Good.
that's why I said either she'll like them and she'll come back, or she'll say, "Oh my God, every movie they saw sucked. I'm never going back on that channel again."
Well, I don't read the synopsis, so I'm just kind of picking blind, so I get what I
Oh,
get.
oh yeah, I mean, because I actually do sit through these movies, like the robot movie. I was so excited to see a robot war. And like the robot world is cool. That's They must not have had a lot of special effects money because the robot world is cool, and they blew their special effects on that. Because you could tell that the spaceship, flying, to robot world was like on a string, and like the old 1950s, the old 1950s Buck Rogers thing when you
Oh
could see
yeah.
On a
like on
wire,
a
yeah.
string.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh goodness.
So
Oh, we appreciate that, Jennifer. That's sweet.
okay, so remember next um, next Friday
We
is the College of Rock Knowledge, Top Rock. We doing a show on the Velvet Underground and Lou Reed, and even John Cale had some songs. So anybody who was in the VU, you can include them or their songs. So that's going to be 12 songs,
Mhm.
and it's going to be favorites. And now this one has a good chance. See, because sometimes, well, when we did like Leonard Skinner, there was a lot of repeats.
Mhm.
This one, I can bet you that there will, of course, there's going to be some songs that are going to be repeats, but there's not going to be a lot. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that,
Yeah.
because I have 3 Velvet Underground CDs and I have a Lou Reed box set.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yeah, I think Chris is already on to Lou Reed's stuff right now.
good.
So, yeah.
I know my way around Lou Reed pretty good. I don't own any Lou Reed
Mhm.
or Velvet Underground.
Yes, you know Velvet Underground. I'm waiting for my man. $26 in my hand.
Yeah.
You ever seen that David Bowie version with Lou Reed and David Bowie doing that Waiting on the Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
David Bowie's playing a 12-string
Yeah.
guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And like what's good about Lou Reed that I like is that if you listen to him, he really even doesn't sing. He just like tells the story like he's speaking with like a sing song kind of thing. He's not singing a song. Very, very rarely does he
Yeah.
do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like reciting a poem.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That includes a lot of drug use.
well, just because he had
Definitely.
a song called Heroin that lasted 8 minutes.
Waiting on the man. What do you think he was waiting for the man with the equivalent of $200 in his hand?
No, he had $26.
Equivalent today of over $200, by the way.
He was getting in a special order of
Fairy dust.
no, he was getting in a special order of
Asphalt.
hot and zesty Cheetos.
Sure.
Well, that's what my mother told me. But then again, my mother told me so many lies when I was growing up.
Yeah, I don't know where you get it from.
And my mother loved doing it, and she did it on purpose. She did it on purpose.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah,
That's right.
no, but she was a great. Oh, the funniest thing that I ever heard my mother say to somebody is I was up there and I was at Florida State and I hadn't been home that often, and some new people had moved in to the house next door, and so they had only met my younger brother and younger sister, and so you know, and I forget what the lady's name was. That's not important. So my mother's talking to her over the fence, and she says, "Oh, hi, oh, well, there's your kids, and what do you have? A guest over?" And my mother says, "No, I've got 3 kids." And she says, "3 kids?" And she says, "Yeah, I got 3 kids, one of each." And that's the kind of answer that my mother would give on shit. So, you know, you know, the nut does not fall far from the tree.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, guys. Well, that's it. Let's call it a night. Bopak, Addie, Jennifer, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mrs. Hopkins. Hopefully, your computer situation will be better.
Did you fix your issue, Jen?
No.
What?
Mark wants to know if
Did
you
you
fixed
fix-
your issues.
Oh no. I'm gonna work on that though. I'm gonna do some lives that live testing. Figure out
And I
what's
told you
going
how
on.
I fixed my problem with the computer.
Yeah, I need a hammer for my
Yeah,
tooth
that's it.
and
That's all you need. Good
yeah.
night, knuckleheads. Yes. Good night, Mr. Bopak.
Good night, all. Thank
You
you
know
so
you're always
much.
welcome. Yes. Oh, yes, Rita. My mother. She was well, and again, my mother. Okay. You know.
Here we go.
Most 8-year-olds, they're listening to at the time the Monkees, the Partridge Family, shit like that. 8 years old, I'm listening to the Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, The Doors, you know. So, so nothing started out right for me. Oh boy, what a childhood I had. Boy, was it rough. It was rough. And I had no friends either, because nobody would want to play with me, not even the family dog. So my mother, she had to tie a pork chop around my neck just so that the dog would play with me.
And the dog still wouldn't play with her.
No, because it would steal the pork chop off my neck, choking me, and run away. So here I had a sore neck and no dog.
No pork
No
chop.
pork chop. I had nothing. I was a 3-time loser.
And where did bacon come
Just like
from? Where
that.
did she say pork came from?
Okay. And now this is true too. And this is true too. My mother had me believing up until I was 10 years old. 10 years old that that ham and pork came from different animals.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until somebody in school told me.
And that set the path for you liking to hang out with people that weren't as smart as you.
Right, exactly.
You were humiliated over pork and ham. Hey, don't like that. Hey, Chris again. We're just getting ready to sign off.
Yes, and it seems that don't like that always comes up when we're ready to go.
Yep.
Hey, don't like that?
No, and remember, okay, next Friday, College of Rock Knowledge, 12 songs by Velvet Underground or Lou Reed or John Cale. He wasn't that prolific, and really his songs weren't very good. But I'm always late to the show. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, then I
We're
could
gonna,
say something, but that would be inappropriate. And me, I'm the queen of being appropriate. So I don't want to.
that's right. And late to the show.
No, I was
Your
early
own
today.
You're usually late to your own shows,
Oh
though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but let me note too that September 8th we'll do the next movie show, and I'll have technical difficulties straightened out by then.
Okay, so
Did you guys know this? Did you guys know this? That the lead solo from Stairway to Heaven, that iconic lead solo, was not done on a double neck guitar. It was actually done on a Fender Jazzmaster.
I did not know that.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
found that out the other day.
I know that the music store that I go into, down here in North Tampa, the guy's really great. But he has on the sign, above the register, he says, "Smoke on the Water" or "Stairway to Heaven" will not be played in my shop. Because whenever somebody goes into, try out a guitar, they do that iconic riff, which really it is so ridiculously easy. It is. It's just so painfully easy. I mean,
Yeah.
because I can even play it good. Because if I can play it good, then it's easy. No, Chris. Oh, Chris. No, I would let you on, honey, but we're all fixing on leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hello, Spartan Dan. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, Chris. We're heading out, so I'm turning off because I gotta go to the T-Mobile and get my phone taken care of. Like I said, I'm gonna be standing out there when they open up.
Call me tomorrow, see if I can help you.
No, because I already fixed the problem, but now they have to go in and do something at T-Mobile. They've got to
Oh.
reset it.
Okay.
So,
Alrighty then.
all right. So, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming up to Jennifer N's program,
Thank you so much.
and we shall see y'all
Thank
later. Bye bye.
Gotcha,
Bye.
Addie. Thanks, Addie.